The harder thing to do and the right thing to do are usually the same thing. Hey there, how's it going? Thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. I'll be your host, Eugene Forrest. So what are we looking at today with these crazy cryptocurrency markets? Well, I mean, seems like, the cryptocurrency fairies or whatever out there have finally been listening to us, and we got a little bit of green. We're getting the FUD and all those people out there saying this is just a quick little bump. We're still going to be heading back down. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. I know that when we got a day of green like this, I'm going to be happy about it. I'm going to take it, use it to the best of my advantage, which is going to keep a smile on my face and not just get all fudded out into the fact that there could be some downward spiral. I think cryptocurrency is still continuing to grow. I think that we are going to have a bull run up here eventually. And as I see those days of red, I try not to get all leery in the market. I just go ahead and try to collect more cryptocurrency so that I'll be able to take care of myself later on in the future and not have to keep working these 9-to-5s. So what are we looking at out here? Well, let's go ahead and refresh CoinMarketCap because this stuff changes every minute. All right, let me see. We got a market cap $330 billion average, right? 16.5 traded in the last 24 hours. No big deal. BTC dominant still hanging out at 39%, even though we're seeing these gains. So not a big deal. Looks like we're all going up consistently here. Coming in $7,534. That's really nice. I know that the people doing all these technical analysis out there want to see it get up closer to the 8, possibly on the other side before they start saying that this is a turnaround and we go big. I'm happy. It's only 1.2% gain, but any gain's a good gain considering how we've been seeing red recently. All right, so $567 for Ethereum. That's only a 1.1 gain. We got Ripple coming in at 61 cents. That's a 2.7% gain. We got Bitcoin Cash on the other side of $1,000, 1,013. A 2.8% gain for them. We got EOS, $12.30. That's a 2.9% gain. Really not that bad. We got EOS in the news today. You know what I mean? They're getting closer and closer to that main net. There's still a lot of confusion out there about what's going to be happening with that. We got Litecoin coming in at $120.90. That is not really making any movement. It's down 0.03, so I don't even know, sideways. 21 cents for Cardano. That's a 5.9% gain. Not bad there. And let's get down to the Steam and Steam back dollar. All right, Steam coming in $2.39. I think that's the same exact price I had said it was at yesterday. So it's saying it's up 2.2%. Not really a big deal there. Not really happy with it being under $3. I think I get a power down payout today. I might have to hold on to that one in the exchange or the wallet for a little bit. All right, let's see. What do we got going on with the Steam back dollar? We got it coming in at $1.76. That's up 2.1%. That's nothing amazing there either. All right, so what do we got going on with the cryptocurrency news? Oh, it's humid out here today in Florida. All right, well, let me see. I got a little bit of news all over the place, and then I'll get into my big topic. Let me see. What do I got here? I got that Funfair. They went ahead and closed their alpha, or they have a closed beta out. I mean, so that's a step for them. It's a decentralized game or gambling gaming situation. I'm not really big into gambling. I do know who they are. There's been a lot of hype about them, but the fact that they're going into a closed beta is good. That means they're making progress. And as we've seen out there, not everybody makes progress. Let me see. What else do we got? Well, we got that the SEC is closing down Titanium. It was an ICO. They went out there. They raised about $21 million. They went ahead. They labeled it a security. They shut the thing down. So everybody that's invested in it has went ahead and lost that money. That's another one of those reasons why I keep telling everybody to be leery of these ICOs, because pretty much it's a donational situation until they can actually get something up and going. The fact that there was so many of them in 2017 and, the SEC hadn't really gotten in there and figured out regulation yet, and they're doing it now. They're going to work backwards. That's the other thing I keep telling you. The long arm of the law is very long, and for the next 5 years, if you're doing something in cryptocurrency, they can come back and get you. So just try to keep it on the up and up. There's enough ways to make money around here where you don't have to be shady. We can still have good moral character when it comes to this stuff. All right, so let me see. We got South Korea. They're looking to try to legalize ICOs after they went ahead and made them illegal in their country back in September of 2017. You know, this was pretty much probably to help stop the fact that it was getting very rampant at that point. And now that things have slowed down a bit and they've had a chance to process it and figure it out, see if they can get their hands in those cookie jars and get some taxes off the situation, because we know that's really all the government's after. So they're going to see what they can't do about getting those back on. You know, for everybody over there getting that ICO funding going. Let me see. What do we got? We got Matthew Mellon. I mean, he's a billionaire, and he invested in Ripple back in the early beginning. He passed away last month. Very sad situation. Never like to see anybody go. But he had about $500 million in Ripple, and, you know, his family's wanting it, and nobody knows where the private keys are. I read through the thing real quick, and it was saying that he went and hid them in different people's names all over the United States. So the likeliness that these private keys are going to be found is kind of slim to none. So this is, you know, one of those things that you got to have enough foresight that if you're investing in a cryptocurrency this much, you got to have some way to keep your private keys safe, but also be able to pass them on when you know, leave this earth, because that's part of this, is that we want to make generational wealth. If we're making generational wealth, it doesn't help if we don't get it to the next generation. We don't want all this cryptocurrency to be locked up in our hardware wallets, and you might as well throw the ledger in the grave with us, because no one knows how to get into it. All right. So EOS. All right. Big topic. Everyone's all over this one. We got the mainnet coming up here in a couple days. We got, you know, yesterday the price came slamming down a little bit because Chinese company out there said they found some epic vulnerabilities. You know, they said that they weren't going to go ahead and release the mainnet until they fixed it. There was a patch that was put out there. People aren't necessarily liking that word patch, saying that it sounds like a quick cob job put together to just get it rolling. This is one of those things that I keep telling you guys about. I don't know when it comes to EOS. I mean, they're out there. If it works and it says everything's like it, you know, like they promise. I mean, we're talking 600 transactions a second. We're talking 3-second confirmations. We're talking no fees. Crazy. There isn't a cryptocurrency exists right now that's like that. That's why it's going to be so big. But whether or not it's actually going to work out, whether or not it has long-term viability, whether or not it's going to be centralized, this is where the gamble is. I mean, you know what? It's $12 now. You know, it dropped down to like 11 something yesterday. Yeah, you can go out there. You can pick up a few of them. You can go pick up a few $1,000s worth of it. I mean, it could pay off. It couldn't pay off. That's the gamble, is that we don't actually know. You're taking a bet on, you know, whether or not this blockchain is actually going to, well, it's not even a blockchain, whether or not EOS is going to go out there and revolutionize the cryptocurrency space. You know, I have trouble with something that's not time tested, something that's not vetted. I feel like that, you know, just like Ethereum in the beginning, that people will take this technology regardless of whether or not it works and run with it as fast as they can, because they're kind of really consumed by the green-eyed monster of greed, and they'll force this thing along. I mean, if this wasn't ready for the mainnet, then why is it coming out to the mainnet? I mean, we're looking at a situation that, I mean, the community is not even sure exactly who's going to be the block propagators for the situation. It's a situation they have to vote. The people that designed it are not the ones that are implementing the mainnet. I mean, when you start digging into this, there's still quite a bit of confusion on how this mainnet is going to get up and operate. And then my personal next question is, you know, you're debating whether or not to go and get some of this EOS, you know, whether or not the price comes up or comes down. They keep talking about all these airdrops that are coming with it. You know, airdrops, free money, you hear from everyone. So it's like, do I want to get a little EOS just to make sure I get these free airdrops, because those first free airdrops could actually be worth a little bit in a year or two. And right after this dumps, you know, I'll just switch back to Bitcoin or whatever, you know, people are saying. And then hold the airdrops and see what happens. You know, they're free. Hold them for a year or two. See if you pick up, you know, some good value there. Who's supporting them, right? I mean, we got that you can register them with Exodus. Is Exodus going to be supporting all the airdrops that come out with the EOS? You know, you have the exchanges, certain big ones saying that they're going to be supporting EOS, but we've seen that they don't necessarily they don't support all the ERC20 tokens on Ethereum. So, I mean, are they going to support all of these airdrop coins? You know, do you have to go out and get your own mainnet wallet? Where do you go for this? Lots and lots of questions I keep getting. I am not an EOS expert. This stuff is going to definitely unravel as time, you know, happens here, and that we actually see if this mainnet gets up or if it's a crash on day one. You got to take it with a grain of salt. You really got to pay close attention with this. I hope EOS works out for the best for everyone that's invested. You know, I'm just going to hold my Bitcoin. I'm going to stand on the sidelines for this one. After the mainnet comes out, I definitely may be investing if it seems like it's, you know, following through with all the stuff they got going on. But, you know, time tells with these things. So Samantha, do we got anything going on in the chat today? Is anybody hanging out? Am I on the internet ranting by myself again?
The Potheads Crypto said, morning, Crypto fam. And,
hey guys, thanks for joining me once again I mean, it looks like it's going to be another rainy day here in Florida. The humidity is intense. I can feel it. My glasses are fogging up just standing here.
He also said that he thinks he might have lost out on the titanium. So
that really sucks. You know, that's why they say, you know, it's a gamble when it comes to this stuff. You know, I also had people like, I'll get a lot of questions and they say that you use terms like it's gambling and this and that and why, and, you know, what is the actual risk? Like, you know, I have Bitcoin and, you know, a lot of people say that that isn't a risky. It's the fact that these other blockchains aren't time tested. You don't necessarily know if the code can be hacked. And then the wallets that you're using with them is a third party, and not everybody seems to understand exactly what that means. And that means that they're holding private keys, they're running the nodes in the background. They kind of, you know, they could have access to your wallets. There's a lot of different variables depending on what the situation is. That's why they always say, you know, you gotta stick with what you know, what you can understand, because when you start getting into these things, you don't really know who has your cryptocurrency. And if you're not holding it, you know, in a hardware wallet or a better way like an air gap computer or a paper wallet, then you may potentially not necessarily be holding your crypto. There could be somebody else behind the scenes fluffing up their database on whether or not they have it, had a hack a month ago and trying to hide it. There's a lot of mysterious situations that happen out here in cryptocurrency. That's why one of the next big things that's starting to happen is everyone's saying is the cryptocurrency market's manipulated, and we got the SEC investigating it. But if you fall back to my opinions, I think that's them just, you know, getting it all nice and ready for big business and accredited investors to come in here and try to gobble up the space. I mean, we want it, we don't want it. It depends on where you stand on that divide. But all right, you guys, thanks for joining me for another episode of Bitcoin and Coffee. Hey, I got a subscribe button down there, and these numbers are slowly trickling upwards, and that is a plus. Tools, email, help desk, please shoot them to me. It's eugeneforest20@gmail.com. Come on over to Steemit, upvote my post if you can. Comment down below. I'll upvote your comment. I got those donational addresses if you got that extra crypto. But as always, you guys, remember to keep your Bitcoin safe